nonprofit organization because we benefit society. We exist because of the lasting impacts of historical and intergenerational trauma. And just as importantly, we exist to help our people heal. We provide training and technical assistance to tribal and urban Native communities in a variety of wellness and healing areas. We strive to keep the teaching of our ancestors alive. The Native Wellness Power Hour is our contribution to the COVID-19 pandemic. The purpose is to bring our people together in a cyber kind of way and to share stories, songs, wisdom, and encouragement to uplift our viewers and to provide tools for your physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual well-being. Welcome to our first Native Wellness Power Hour. We want to thank the Noise Foundation for their generous support to bring this
Can
programming
you
to you.
hear me?
Yes.
Hello?
This first session is on traditional storytelling.
Alanna, can you hear me?
Okay, so for my portion, I will be reading for the first 15 minutes and
Alanna?
then I'll pass it over to Alanna.
Yeah, I can hear. Yeah.
Okay. All right. I was just checking. Sometimes my
Okay, so I'll go ahead and
goes
begin.
out.
The first poem is called Grass Dancer. He spins into the arena, slides into the spotlight. Just as the drums begin, his body twisting to the right. The spotlight follows his every twist and move, sparkling off the cut beads, showing off his powwow groove. The crowd went wild when he dipped low. The women screamed when his fringe swung above and below. Grass dance man doing it right. Grass dance man, his moves are tight. His arms extended, his steps quick and light. The women are all wondering if his moves last all night. He's a grass dancer, tall and lean. He's got moves for days, if you know what I mean. The music pounds, the drummer's song is fierce and loud as the dancer spins to the beat and the delight of the crowd. The drums pound to a stop. The crowd draws a collective breath, waiting with anticipation to see if dancer and song will join at the end or will he dance too long. The last drum beat fades into the night. The grass dancer's feet stop. A moment passed right. He walks off a bit sheepish. He'd held the crowd till then, but they showed their appreciation. What a dance it had been. So, quite some time ago, after the publishing of my first book, Sweetgrass Talking, through Uttered Chaos Press, I decided to start writing more poetry that made me laugh. So, I hope that you enjoy this collection from my upcoming book, Have War Paint Will Travel. This is called See You at the 9. Let's go to the 49, jump in the car, let's sing on the way, sing songs of broken hearts, of jail-trapped lovers still loved each day, the plaintive call of a broken heart, of a man whose woman left him for another girl, for a fresh start. He cries about the injustice, asks for sympathy as he sings of his fall, sings of his broken heart and the wrongness of it all. He drums on the top of a trash can lid, singing of her leaving and the damage that she did. We sing along with him, lift his spirits with our smiles, hoping he'll meet another who will woo and win him with her wiles. Fix his broken heart, help him move on, inspire him to write a new, happier 49 song. This next poem, some of you may be able to relate to. It's called Psycho X's. Raise your hand with your glove because you're being safe and using safe measures if you have a Psycho X. Here we go. We met in a chat room, shared late nights and several LOLs. It seemed too good to be true when he invited me to meet. Coffee or breakfast, your town or mine. Our first meeting, so short and sweet, led to another and another. Soon we were sharing more than laughs, more than a chat room. His res nearby mine. His friends and family were cool. Mine liked him too. But then she came back. Godzilla with PMS and a resitude. Fully loaded head tilting loud. Rapid fire words destroying the peacefulness we'd shared. Wanting her darn man back. Demanding that he come home with her. And he did. Looking back at me shamefacedly as she pulled him along behind her, as if I would rescue my weak warrior from his own demise. Fry bread her butt. If it would have fit in the fryer, I would have. She can have him, that weak warrior, not man enough for me. Can't dance traditional, can't speak his language, can't sing 49 songs to me, can't drum, can't even play the love flute. All he had going for him was long hair, a great smile with his own teeth, and what I thought was a genuine love for me. Watching him be dragged into the distance, I breathed a sigh of relief. Now she would have to support his non working butt, put up with his complaining about everything, none of which he paid for. But dang, he was a good kisser. 90 Shades of Indian Love. Run your fry bread covered fingers through my long hair before you braid it nice and tight. Let me climb those thick brown thighs to paradise. I'm a good climber. Sing me a 49 song, a love song to pull at my wounded heart. Promise me you'll be faithful, at least until the next powwow. Native courtship. Two-step with me, dance in your way into my heart and life. Play your love flute, courtship songs, point your flute my way. Woo me in the sweat lodge, smoke and prayers sent my way. Let me braid your long black hair, marking my territory in your braid. Buy me an Indian taco with extra beans and salsa. Now that's really love. Introduce me to your family. I'll ignore your brothers hitting on me all night. They'll write 49 songs about our love as we laugh through the years. Have war paint. We'll travel. I've got my war paint, don't you know? It's in my purse wherever I go. It's on my lips on a Saturday night to make them look oh so bright. To catch your eye, play tricks with your heart to make you stumble from the start. A little shadow, a bit of blush, a little color, but not too much. Make my eyes sparkle, make my lips shine, make you wish that you were mine. Greet the sun. I pray for food, commodity cheese and canned meat, for fry bread thighs and a drummer's song on the morning's first soft breath. I greet the sun with a Pendleton blanket wrapped around my brown skin, still warm from my lover's embrace. I greet the song with a warm smile, a song on my lips, a prayer in my heart for a good man with a job, a house, and his own car. I greet the sun, grateful for all my relations, for all living things. I greet the sun with gratitude, thankful for my job that almost pays my bills. I greet the sun with my full set of teeth and wish my brother's smile was as complete. I greet the sun with a light heart, thankful for the electricity that is still on, for kids who won't go hungry today. I thank the Creator for the humor in our hearts, that we can smile when we want to cry, laugh when we should despair, and snag when we should have gone home instead of to the 49. This next poem is called As the Res Turns. She's a res girl through and through. She's nothing but trouble, you know it's true. Trading commodity cheese for cigarettes. She'll take your man too on a bet. She'll offer a 12-pack just to make you giggle, then lure him away with a smile and a hip wiggle. You'll be crying in your beer, it'll happen so fast, but don't you worry, it won't last. She'll be bored soon, she prefers the chase. She's a hunter born with a taste for the race. Once she wins, she'll move on, a new man in her sights. She'll just ignore that you had first rights. So choose your man with care, one who's not too cute, or she'll look at him as her prize and steal your loot. Once he's gone, let him go for good. Don't take him back like your heart says you should. Find one less handsome, one more loyal than the last. You can't win against a res girl, she's much too fast. She wins them away with a wink and a smile and then tosses them when she's done after just a little while. Though your heart may be breaking, here's what you should do. Wait till she has a man, then you do it too. So the res turns into the night. Revenge may not be fair, but it sure feels right. This is for all our basketball players. War hoop. Passing left, faking right, playing ball all through the night. Sweat pouring down my face, competing hard for first place. Bragging rights for years to come. carve on my headstone when I'm done. Resball champion, that's what it'll say. Put a ball in my hand and sing me on my way. That's dedicated to the Schimmel sisters and every other child with a ball and a dream. So I'd like to read to you a couple more. Have about another 5 minutes before I'll be turning it over. And this is from my first book, Sweetgrass Talking. And I was just up in Canada at Casino Rama doing a presentation for Native Wellness Institute, and I'm was amazed to find out that there was somebody there who had a copy of my book that had been given um, to her for her birthday. So I was pretty excited about that. That yay, my book went international! Woohoo! So this book was inspired by my grandfather, Eugene Black Bear Sr., and he guided me much of my life and gifted me with so many things I can't even name them all. My strength. I see the stallion thundering hooves striking, powerfully driving him. Muscles bunch and respond, conquering the steep mountain with ease. He storms past me, his strength flowing into me, renewing me physically, spiritually. The stallion gallops determinedly, thundering up the mountain in my mind, protecting me, strengthening me. The storms that surround me fall before him, thundering hooves scattering the inconsequential, the fear and doubt. I feel the stallion in my heart, enveloping my soul, encompassing me, his hide blinding in its purity. The storms which once ravaged my heart and my life, devastating all in their path, now swept aside by a greater purpose. Native sun, you brighten my life with your smile, your heart as warm as the sun. Each day you struggle with harassment at school for your long hair, for your Cheyenne heritage. I listen to your words of frustration and shed my tears inside, while my words, chosen with care, encourage you to be strong. I try to balance my anger with reason and kindness while wondering why the kids at your school aren't taught the same by their parents. I see you growing, changing. Last year you were shorter than me. This year you tower over me, calling me little. You make me laugh with your jokes, your teasing ways. So sweet and gentle, all big feet, heart, and awkward bones, growing every day in more than height. Some of the poems that I wrote from this collection, some of them are hard, but you know what? If we talk about those difficult things, it makes it easier to look at them later and set them aside. So, and that's what works for me with my poetry is I'll write about a topic that's hurtful to me and put it down, and that helps me to heal. Depth. Reach deeper, he said to me. Pull from within to see who you are. Let your blood and the blood of your ancestors speak. Speak to you. Speak to us all. So I want to thank you for your time and for this moment that we're sharing together, all of us self isolating in a good way. And I'm going to close out my portion with this last poem called Patchwork Quilted Crops Strewn Across the Land. My eyes hunger for the beauty of her face in all its varied wonder. From the striking plains to sun drenched seas, my eyes hunger for the beauty of her face. Drinking in the glory of the mighty redwoods, silent sentinels watching over her, gazing at majestic mountain peaks and lush valleys, my eyes hunger for the beauty of her face. Cobalt blue lakes beckoning in welcome, pulling me to their stone-strewn shores, to walk by rushing rivers, tumbling, twisting, twining. My eyes hunger for the beauty of her face. My eyes hunger for the beauty of her face. So I'd like to thank you for tuning into my portion of Native Wellness Power Hour. And I'd like to introduce Alanna to you. She'll begin doing the next portion and then I'll close out our hour. Thank you, ladies, for being here and for participating.
Thank you. That was really beautiful. Love your poetry, your style.
Thank you. Thanks.
So Dadanastata Size Alanna OneSpot Bluebird Ata Kohitika Sutana Sixaga Denata. I come from the Sutana Dene Nation and the Sixaga Blackfoot Nation in Canada, in southern Alberta. And I just wanted to say a few things about myself. So you, for the people that don't know me, I'm a spoken word poet. I write poetry since I was in grade 9, and I just started doing spoken word just 6 years ago and performing it and expressing it. And yeah, so I just want to share like a few poems with you that they're very short, but hold on, this one that I'm doing is called Self-Care. And I wrote this a while ago. I dedicated it to my nieces because I feel like as a woman, as an auntie, I feel like it's so important to take care of yourself. And I just gotta find it. Hold on. Okay. Self-care. Self-care is smudging when you wake up. Self-care is not caring for putting on makeup. Self-care is facing what you've been dodging. Self-care is dancing like no one is watching. Self-care is running that bathwater and soaking for an hour. Self-care is praying for yourself to reclaim your power. Self-care is looking in the mirror and saying, I love you. Self-care is saying, I am beautiful and knowing it to be true. Self-care is going for a long walk. Self-care is calling a family member just to talk. Self-care is breathing in and out because it feels so good to be alive. Self-care is to be grateful because you survived. Self-care is letting yourself cry. Self-care is lighting up your darkest hour like a firefly. Self-care is to let yourself heal. Self-care is to let yourself feel. Self-care can mean many things, but most importantly, self-care helps you become aware. You are worth the while to be taken care of, and that's true love, self-care. So the next poem that I'm gonna share, I wrote this last year, and I call this one, it's about the, it's like transcending, I call it transcending. And okay. Transcending into a realm of understanding of what he or she sees now, because what is or what isn't really it at all. For light years, realities are created from the divine mind of creative beings. Wrapped in skin, it goes beyond the blood, flesh, bone, land, earth, sky. It's so clear in the atmosphere we appear. Appearing in space and time, the universe has versions of us everywhere. Land is an entity. Mother Earth's identity is our true reality, human beings. Human beings, this land claim is just a name. They're building ring roads that lead us to dead ends, blindly following a path in the dark, has a third eye closed blind, blinding education leading to young souls' disease. We seize the day, white eyes unease. Each step we take, taking parts of us we need, a lack of consideration for the human nation, not realizing that we are all interwoven through lines of energy. We cannot see energy speaks life into existence. We exist in all forms of DNA, even soil, oil, and to the earth's core, turning veils, passing rounds, leaving behind a part of us that didn't belong to us in the first place, transcending into a realm of understanding of what he or she sees now, because what is or what isn't really it at all. Okay, I'll share like 2 more poems. This next one I wrote a few years ago, and it was for the youth that I worked with in the prisons. And this one is about finding your way, and I called it Find Your Way. Hold on, just take it. I once was stuck in a hole. I dug myself in. Angry at the past, it was eating me within. Living with regret, coping to forget. I felt so out of touch with the universe, thinking it was all a curse, or maybe I was dealt a bad hand, but I figured it was all just a negative belief on command. And the only way to reclaim happiness and oneness is by conquering your darkness and seeing your own light and making everything right. I discovered the universe was within me and within you, and self-connection is the key. Your heart will feel open and free. Close your eyes, pay attention. Take a deep breath to relieve your tension. Mindfulness is everything when the universe is trying to tell you something. However, many of us are unable. What we need to do is change the cable to see what lies beneath the surface, to find our divine purpose. Connect your heart to the sky. Let your wings fly. Swell your heart with a sea of love. It will help you see what's reflecting from above. So take a look in the mirror and clear your vision, because loving yourself will be your greatest decision. Thank you. And that's all the poems I
Beautiful.
have shared. I hope you like them, and I hope you all are taking care of yourself as we go through these changing times. I feel like it's very important to take care of yourself all the time and not just during these times, and that to love yourself, to pray, to give thanks and be grateful for what you have, because other people don't have what we have. And I'm just grateful that Jillian got me to be part of this, because I met Jillian back in, like, I can't even remember, but it was really a long time ago, and she is a part of the people who helped me. Sorry, I'm just getting teared up. Because I'm really grateful for all the people in the Native Wellness, because they help me a lot, and it's so beautiful to see the stuff that they're doing, and I'm just really grateful for this opportunity. And I want to hand it over to the next person, and thank you for listening. Thank you. See you, Scuds. Marie is
Oh,
next.
beautiful.
Thank you, Alanna. And Renee, I wasn't able to hear what she said, but I'm sure it was beautiful. And, sitting here thinking about everything that's going on in this world, I want to say this prayer in this first poem really because here in the Pacific Northwest, we have the story of She Who Watches, Sagakwela. And I'm sure I just said that wrong, but I wrote this poem kind of based on visions and dreams that I've had about her and from things that I've learned from her story. And it's called Rise, My Daughters. I sat on the cliff, looking out on my people, crying to Creator, please let me go, let me be free. It's not my fault I'm stuck here. Coyote, he came in and tricked me. But Creator came and said, I'm sorry, my daughter, but there's nothing I can do. Your people are strong. You taught them well. They can carry on without you. And so for 1,000 generations, she sat and she cried. She watched from the cliff as her people thrived. She knew Creator was right. They didn't need her anymore. But still she watched, she prayed that they'll continue and continue to grow even more. And so she watched as generation after generation the men began to lead and the women began to take a step back. But she crept into the dreams of her daughters, begged them to remember that they were strong, remember that they could still lead. Because she knew one day the day will come when it's time for her spirit to rise again. And so she whispered into the hearts of all the little girls, all her descendants, said, "Rise, my daughter. It's time to rise. It's time to wake from your sleep. It's time to remember who you are. It's time for you to lead. It's time for you to speak. It's time for you to remember you are not weak. But we are the heart. We are the mother. It's time for us to heal. I know you're tired and you can rest, but still, we need to continue. We need to breathe. We need to sleep. We need to rest. We need to remember what's important above all else. What's important is not what we hold in our hand, but what we hold in our heart and what we need to hold on to is remembering that we are only a small part. We're a small part of the world. We're a small part of the universe. We might be big, but we're also small. We might be little, but we're also tall. We're part of this world, but we still need to rise, for the world needs us to open our eyes. Rise, my daughters, and show this world you have not forgotten. Remember the teachings of the women who came when the people needed them. You are that woman. You are that leader. It's time for you to wake up and be heard. But that's the message that I receive every day whenever I think of this legend and this woman. And and I say this because when I look out into the world, it's really a lot of the women, in our communities, a lot of the women that are bringing these messages and speaking out the loudest. Not that poem, that story is to honor all those women. Keep holding their head high and just remember what our strength is, because that's one of the biggest things about women is that we are that vessel between the spirit world and the next. We're the road through which new life comes into this world, and so that's a major honor for us to have. And I feel blessed to be born female. It's a strong legacy to be part of. And so I'm sorry. I guess if you're having a hard time hearing me, I'm just let me know. My next poem is called Will Be Okay. Really, because that's the theme I have to that I have to keep repeating to myself every day. Let go of the little things, because we'll be okay. We've been here before. We'll see another day. You haven't been perfect. You haven't been strong. That's okay. The days are long. We want to stress and we want to cry. That's okay. You'll still get by. We need to honor the happy and the sad, because really, in the end, it's memories. It's the most important thing we ever had. Whether we're down or whether we're up, we always got to look at, be grateful that we even have a cup. If your food ain't the best, that's okay. Let it go. As long as you eat, you'll be able to still go. Your children are bored, it's okay. Let it go. We're all reaching our peak. Yeah. The world is feeling it. Life is not easy. It's always going to be a struggle. But let go of the little things. Let go of those little things, because in the end, they don't matter. What matters is, do you have clean water to drink? Yes. Good thanks. Do you have food to eat? Yes. Good thanks. Are your children happy? Yes. Good thanks. Are you safe? Yes. Good thanks. Let go of all else. That extra, it's an extra blessing. We deserve so much more. But in the end, nature said, no, it's time for a change. The old life is gone. We need to let it go. We're looking at a new normal. We're looking at a big change. But let it go. We could be waiting. We can only dream of. Let go. Let God, the Creator, do His job. Did we stand in the way for far too long? Let it go. I can't really think of much else to say right now. I mean, I'm trying to stay optimistic during these times. I've been stuck in this house I don't even remember what day this is. It's a Saturday. It's still March. Feels like March 45th, 47th. But, I'm okay. It's almost like being stuck in a movie, but it's my reality. And it's so funny because I always used to think my reality was a dream and I would wake up someday. But no, I'm still stuck in a dream. I can't really think of much else. And we still got a whole hour to go. A whole half hour, I mean. But I wanted to say to everybody that has listened, when you think of
Yes, I can do that. Alanna, do you have more poetry that you'd like to share? Alanna, can you hear me?
Can you hear me now? Okay.
Yes. Do you have more poetry that you would like to share? And thank you, Marie. That was beautiful.
That was really beautiful. I love the poetry, both of you. Yes, I could share one more. I
Terrific.
just gotta look. So there's this other poem I have. It's called I Am. And I'm actually gonna, I'm trying to turn it into like a book for children. So I'm working on that. And I've been working on this other poetry book. Hopefully I could get it out there one day soon. I'm putting it into the universe that I could have a bunch of poetry and to share my words of wisdom for the to the youth. And also just wanted to like say like for all the mothers that are expecting right now, because I'm expecting. Um, I'm having my first child, and uh, it's really intense to go through this time because my family won't get to see my baby for a while. But I know go get back to normal, and I just pray for the mothers who are having a hard time, and you just know that you are powerful, and that um, before all this happened, I was talking to the elders of my community, and I was working with them, and they had told me that that mothers um, are very sacred at this time when you're giving, like when you're growing a baby. A long time ago, they would ask pregnant women to pray for the people because they were so powerful at the time. And I've been doing that a lot, is praying and praying for everybody, praying for my family, my friends, the communities, the world. And if you're expecting mother, I just encourage you to pray because your prayer is very powerful. It's very it's something that also like with the women that are on their time as well, that's we're very powerful at those times. And I just encourage people to take that serious and to pray, because praying and speaking with the universe is really powerful. And that's what's helping me as a mom to get through this time, is to just turn to prayer and to calm my mind and to meditate and to do all that taking care of myself, because it helps me as I prepare my child to come into this world. And I feel like the I feel like my child that's coming uh, is gonna be very strong because they came in a time of hardship. And I feel like that's for all the babies that are coming at this time. They're gonna come to teach us strength and teach us things that we need to learn. And but yeah, I just wanted to share that because I feel like a lot of mothers are having a hard time right now. And yeah, I just wanted to encourage them. But this poem that I'm gonna share, it's called "I Am." Um, I wrote this 2 years ago. I am the knowledge that they call your frame of mind, the motivation that inspires you to create, the essence of your scent that has no smell, the fire that keeps you warm when you're feeling cold, your breath of fresh air blowing in the wind. You could feel me. I am the courage pushing you out of your comfort zone, an energy that keeps you going when you feel like giving up, that gut feeling in your stomach when something is wrong, that willpower that helps you make good choices, the vitality of your life. I am a divine force, a divine energy, and I've traveled through galaxies, crossed universes to be here with you. I have no name, but you are my body, and I am your spirit. Thank you. That's that's all the poems that I have. Yeah, that poem I wrote like your spirit is
That
to
was
the
lovely.
body. Yeah, and I just wanted to share that one as well. And um, if anyone wants to share any more, Renee or Marie, that's all I have for now. But thank you.
So I would like to encourage you. Can you keep in touch with me? I'd like to get you in touch with my publisher.
Okay, yeah,
Okay?
thank you.
Did you hear me?
Awesome. Yeah.
Okay, great. So Jolene suggested that we read some more, so I'm going to share a few more of my poems, try to get us closer to the hour that we have. This one is called Wind Song. It's from my book, Sweetgrass Talking. The wind carries messages for those with ears to hear. The trees carry signs for those with eyes to see. The forest tells stories to those who can read. The eagle beckons to those whose spirits are free. I wrote this one for my grandfather, Eugene Black Bear Sr. It's called Dignity. He walks into the arena with care. Each step causes his body pain. Yet his mind rejoices, rejects the stresses. Trembling legs threaten to fail and do not. His back slightly bowed by time, a face deeply carved by life, by love, loss, survival. His will stronger than flesh, his heart and soul in each step, carries him with grace, slow, painful. His movements reflect the beauty and strength of the drum, enduring, everlasting, inspiring. So our communities, many of them struggle with suicide. And I wrote this because one of my friends attempted suicide and thankfully survived. My friend, I picture you still, heart whole and body strong, your enthusiasm boyish. I remember hiding my smiles at your unconsciously charming ways. I long for those days as we sit outside in the lobby, cold, clinical, and too clean, waiting, willing you to live. We cannot go back, but we can pray for you to go forward with us in whatever way the Creator decrees. Prayer is all we have now, prayer and hope. We cling to both and each other with all our strength, and we hope that it will be enough. And I'm really happy to say that in this case it was. This one is called Welcome. I'm broadcasting from the Northern Cascades in a little valley in a little town called Darrington, Washington. And if it was a clear day, behind me you could see there's a big mountain. I'm almost done, Steph. Yeah, and that's what I was hoping you'd be able to see it, but it's rainy today, so that's okay. It's still beautiful. Welcome. Crushed by the crowds, towering concrete trees blocking the sun. Thick, dark pollution stunts the view, the very air an enemy. The mountains close around me, protective, full of life and hope, shelter from the storms of a modern world, an escape from the jungle of the city. My lungs and life feel grateful, grateful for cleansing breath, for clean, bright air. Imagine your mind's eye envisions children running free, laughter fills the air, wafts toward you on a hot Oklahoma day. Children of many nations, Cheyenne, Ponca, Osage, Black, Chinese, white, play, laugh in harmony. Their hearts see not color, but friends. So I'm really honored and humbled to be a part of this and to share this moment with my fellow poets and to share this time with you. And I thank you for taking time for us. And I have one more poem that I'm tabbing down for desperately at this moment. Hang with me, everybody. Actually, let me read this one real quick. This is called Astonishment. We just found out that our taxes won't be due until July, right? Here in America. Uh, Astonishment. My face a reflection of surprise. A dear friend, non-native, expresses her opinion to me. You should pay taxes, she says. You are an American, just like everyone else. We do pay taxes, I respond, although I don't think we should. I agree, I am an American. I'm a first American. Native, Indian, however you prefer. We have paid over and over again in millions of acres lost. in millions of lives lost. We have paid in blood to those who helped themselves to our land, to those we welcomed, fed, helped to survive, only to be repaid in treaty after treaty, each one worth as much as the paper they were written on. Each paper promise forgotten by the great white father in Washington, who did it for our own good. So there's times when I'm really diplomatic, and there's also times when I just um, tell it how I see it. And I don't think that we should pay taxes, but I am an American. I do pay taxes, and I do try to myth bust whenever I can. And I'm sure that's something that we all do every single day of our lives with people who are non native, in our efforts to promote the truth. And I really appreciate all of you taking time out of your day. I know it's hard. I know we're all sheltering in place. So I'm gonna read this last poem and then give you a few closing words. This is called Eternal Song. I feel the song of 1,000 years. I smell the earth of my ancestors. I see the sky that looked on other nations. I hear the song that carries us through the ages. I taste the victory so long denied. Where I'm sitting right now, I can see mountains with snow on them, which is why I'm wearing a blanket and a cape and a long sleeve shirt and a scarf. But I'm really enjoying it. So I would like, again, thank you everyone for tuning in. Remember to tune in tomorrow at noon Pacific time. The topic will be Teachings from Mother Earth with John Cocker on Sunday, March 29th. So please go to Native Wellness Institute's website, nativewellness.org, or our Facebook page for the flyer for upcoming events or for other information. And thank you to the Noise Foundation again, NOYSE, for their generous contributions to enable us to provide this service of the Native Wellness Power Hour. So thank you, everyone. Hope you're well. Stay home, stay safe, and remember always that you are needed, you are loved. Thank you.
Thank you.